What's up, fight fans, boxing fans? Andre here, bringing you another video. Now, this is a particular video I wanted to make since last year, but it's hard getting the time to make these videos. I'm gonna try my best to put out a lot more videos. It's just hard finding the time, even if I gotta do it late at night. But there's a video I wanted to do since last year. It's based on Pacquiao's tax situation. Honestly, $68 million, I don't believe that at all. I don't think Pacquiao owes that much money. I mean, that's just a ludicrous amount. It just sounds impossible. $68 million? There's no way you could owe the IRS that much money from 2009 till today. I mean, the fact that it seems impossible, not saying nothing bad about Pacquiao because, he's one of the top paid pay-per-view fighters nowadays. There's just no way that he's made that much money from 2009 till now. I mean, unless there's been some disclosed numbers that, the public didn't really know about. And there's a lot the public doesn't know about, but $68 million just sounds crazy. I know in the Marquez fight, he probably made I think it was 25 million, 30 after the pay-per-views. And even in his most recent fight, he made 18 million. I mean, still putting it all together, it just doesn't seem likely. And then at that, $68 million in taxes, it just seems impossible. Because taxes, I know they take a large percentage off. I believe in the U.S. it's 30% or 28% that they take off. But to owe $68 million just means $240 million. And honestly, I don't think he's made that much money. I mean, the sad part is that he owes $50 million out of those $68 million to his own country. Pacquiao, who's supposed to be, a countryman, he works for their government. And I believe this because I used to work for a cell phone company, and every time we had to get with customer support, we had to call the Philippines. And anytime we had spare time to talk while they were working, I would ask them about Pacquiao, and these people would go crazy. They make this guy seem like he's their hero. They have nothing negative to say about him. All they have is good and positive things to say about him. And people from over there told me that, when Pacquiao fights, their country's crime rate is close to 0%. That nobody tries to commit any crimes over there. They also said that sometimes when he wins his big fights, he'll open his doors to his home and give out money to people in need over there. I mean, for this guy to be this good, honestly, I just don't believe the fact that he can owe so much money in taxes. I mean, it just seems like he's too much of a good guy. And I know the media makes him seem a little differently. And don't get me wrong, I know he's contradicted himself a couple of times. And at a point, I was starting to believe to myself, I don't think this guy is this good person that everybody makes him seem like. But, there's just a lot that people don't know behind closed doors. And there's a lot that people try to do to wreck other people's images. Honestly, I think he's a really good guy, and he's truly one of the best fighters in the world. I'm not saying that he's better than Mayweather, and I know people aren't going to like this, but he's one of the best fighters out there. I mean, and even if he does ever fight Mayweather, I think he has one of the best chances to win. But besides that, let's get back to this tax issue. Honestly, I don't think he owes that much money. To be honest, I think he could probably owe somewhere like 10 to 20 million. I'm not an expert at this, but he could probably owe about that much money, depending on how much he made from 2009 till now, or probably less. And I think that he's not disclosing the actual amount for the fact that he doesn't want the media on his case, because, even Floyd Mayweather, every time he gets paid, he doesn't like to admit how much he's getting paid. I believe at points he was pissed, saying that I don't know why these companies disclose how much I'm going to get paid after these fights when they don't do this for any other fighters. Now, the reason why, I'm sure he would like to brag about how much he's getting paid. I'm getting paid $30 million, $50 million a fight. I'm sure the reason that he doesn't want to brag about that is because obviously once the tax companies hear about that, they're going to want to get their slice of the cake too. So honestly, I think he owes like 10 million or around there in taxes. And that's if he honestly does owe the taxes. But for them to just sit there and freeze his accounts, his own country, that's just go in the extreme. I know people that owe money to the IRS and they don't freeze their account like that. They give them payment plans to pay this money back off in time. And I mean, that's not a small amount if he does owe that much. But come on, like, to freeze his account, I think they're just making this news seem a little too overhyped. And I don't think things are as they seem. But I think also Pacquiao might be using this to his advantage by just letting the media say whatever they say, making these crazy astronomical amounts, saying that he owes $68 million, just so this way he can land himself in another big money fight. And I mean, it just might work because it seems like he might need the money. He's not going to admit that he doesn't owe less. So his next fight, he might say, look, I want like $30 or $40 million. I need this money. And if they say, well, we can't pay you that much, they're going to pay him somewhere around there because, like I said, he's one of the top pay-per-view stars out now. I know his last pay-per-view did bad. And, I mean, not even bad because 300,000 views or 500,000, whichever one it actually was, that's still a lot better compared to other fighters. I mean, I know it's a decline from where he came from in the millions, but trust me, it's still a large amount and it's still a lot of money that he made. But it could have also been due to the last fight that he had, which he suffered a knockout loss. And, you know, people probably weren't even confident about him to see if he would come back the way that he did. But he dominated Brandon Rios. I gave him every single round, and he was just incredible through that fight. Honestly, I think he could make a great comeback as long as, and I know this is going to be the unpopular thing to say, as long as he avoids Timothy Bradley. Because even in recent news, Freddie Roach has been going around saying Timothy Bradley is going to be Pacquiao's hardest fight, that he has a hard style to win against. Just saying that already shows you that they're not confident that they could beat him. But I think if Pacquiao picks his fights right, and if he picks the right opponent next, I believe that he can make some really good money. And by the end of this year, or maybe next year, he could make enough money to pay back the IRS. Or, you know, he probably has the money now. They just probably froze his account. I mean, I honestly, I don't believe that. I think he's working that out right now. I mean, millionaires don't just handle money themselves. You know, they have advisors that help them with this. I'm sure this is all being fixed right now, you know. And us in the media, they're just bringing up any kind of news that they can just to make the situation seem worse, but I don't think it's that bad. You know, he's not this desperate dog that Mayweather says he is. I'm sure that he has everything under control. But and also, as far as this charity measure that he's talking about between Mayweather, I'll talk about that in another video just to show how impossible that is. But I do think that him and Mayweather might fight by the end of this year or early or late of next year in 2015. I think that, I mean, and it's not just a thought. I'm sure a lot of people had this thought, but, you know, we got to put the facts together. Pacquiao said last year that he was going to go visit Mayweather. Then nothing was mentioned when they supposedly met. And then all of a sudden Mayweather saying that the fight's not going to happen. But they're bringing up the fight so much to keep it in everybody's head that honestly I do think it's going to happen. I just don't think they're trying to make it happen now. I think probably as soon as Pacquiao's contract ends with Top Rank, which might be, you know, some people are saying in the middle of this year or the end of this year. It doesn't matter. When that contract ends, I'm sure he's going to take a little break, fight Mayweather, and depending what the odds are, then he'll sign back with Top Rank and retire with them like Bob Arum said. Besides that, though, I'm definitely sure that fight's going to happen before either one of them retires. I'm 100% positive on that. And, I mean, everybody's thinking to themselves, oh, you know, I don't want my feelings to get hurt because they've been talking about this fight since 2009. I mean, you got to understand, in order for you to make an event this big, obviously there's going to be a lot of egos at stake, and people aren't going to just back down so easily because this is a lot of money to be made. So, like I said, I'm sure this fight's going to happen, you know, sometime at the end of this year or next year. And trust me, it's just going to happen. It's just too much money to give up just for either one of them to show which one of them is the bigger draw. But anyways, I'm going to try to see if I can head into making another video. Subscribe, leave your thoughts below, and like the video. Thank you.